Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Dan here. And guys, I felt it was very important for me to take a moment away from a stream today and make a video. I haven't done one of these videos in a long time. In fact, I used to make these kind of videos all the time on the channel. I was kind of known for a few of these. Some people actually found me for these videos. Sometimes I'd make them just discussing a topic with you guys, or sometimes I would, share some good news and discuss that. But let's be honest, most times it would be about me ranting or being frustrated or angry at a certain situation. And infamously, the Dan Rants series, people loved it, but you know what? I started weaning it out on the channel just because I didn't like how I was becoming in those videos. So it's interesting for me to make this again. It isn't a Dan Rant, but it is something that is personal, and I feel like I really need to discuss this with you guys because it's only fair that I include you. Because it's one of those things it's like, oh, I don't really want to share it. I'm kind of nervous to share this kind of stuff. But it would be so much more detrimental and worse to the channel, and it wouldn't be fair to you guys if I didn't share it. And then what if I didn't share it and kept it in? The results would be so much worse than if I just shared some stuff with you. So I really want to be a bit vulnerable right now and talk to you guys about something that I really need to talk about. So first thing I want to go into saying is, I have had a lot of struggles my entire life with a variety of things. Anxiety, stress, depression, frustration, severe anger issues. Going all the way back to childhood, through my teenage years and early adult years, especially my 20s. There has been a very uncontrollable anger that has resulted from a wide variety of things. And I can blame it on all these things in the past. Now, I'm almost 33 years old. I'll be 33 very soon. And when you're in your 30s and the older you get, the more clarity and the more understanding, the more self-aware you do actually become of your actions and what they're doing to yourself and those around you. And with that being said, I have noticed a lot of things on the channel lately, and I don't like what I see. For obviously, I want to throw out what really has made me make this video today specifically, just so you guys know it's not just coming out of left field. Obviously, this has been building up for a while. I've noticed it more and more as time has gone on, but most lately has been with my Godfather 2 stream on the channel. It wasn't the most angry I've become, I will say that. That stream ended very poorly, in my opinion. It's not the kind of content I wanted to deliver, and it's not the kind of person I want to portray while I'm playing, and while I'm creating content for you. And the result of that stream, like I said, it wasn't a massive blowout, but I can't really tell you the difference. I can't explain it, the difference in how I felt in that moment compared to when I've actually just had a blowout. So really, we're here because that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and I need to talk to you guys about this stuff. I'm going to be honest with you about everything that's been going on and everything that has been affecting me and ultimately affecting you guys, because you guys are the audience. You guys are the people who allow me to do what I do. So if I don't share these things with you, well, what's the point? I feel it's only fair, and you guys have an equal right to know these things. So like I said, I'm putting myself out there a little bit, but we're all a family here on this channel. At least I hope that you guys look at us that way. And I feel like I could talk to you guys about anything. I don't know why I haven't. I guess it has to do with a lot of things, the anxiety, the stress, the things like that. So let's get into it. One of the major things I think you guys are aware of, I am open with things that are going on with me, but I'm not open with the extent of where they go, if that makes sense. Now, some of you might know, I do also suffer from OCD. I am a germaphobe. There's a lot of things that affect me in daily life that I don't think people know. I actually have a couple of phobias. I've never told people this before, besides close friends and family. Well, one phobia you guys know about, trypophobia, which is, the fear of little weird circles. You know what I mean? I've been open about that because whenever you see it in a game, it creeps me out. But another phobia that people think is absolutely ridiculous, and I just kind of embarrassed to mention it, but it's gonna sound stupid, but we're here being honest. It's called sparkleophobia. It's literally the fear of glitter. Yeah, I know. It's not so much the fear of glitter itself, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. But before we explain why, it's one of the things, you know. So I have OCD, like I said. I'm a germaphobe. I need things. With that OCD comes the need for perfection. And the need for perfection can mean a whole lot of things. It could mean having my display in perfect evenness. For example, like my setup, I have my monitors. The monitor has to be exactly centered on the desk. I literally will take a tape measure from all angles, top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left, center, middle back, desk to desk, making sure it's exactly the same spot. And I will do that with everything. I will organize all my, movies, things like that. If I have them still, it's all digital, but you know what I mean. Now, my physical stuff was always alphabetized. Everything, my clothing, color coordinated. Hanging pictures, they all have to be exactly level and the exact same distance apart. It is very, very, very stressful to worry about that, because I know if it's slightly crooked, I will see it and I will never stop obsessing over it. This obsession for perfection does go into my content as well, because as time has gone on, I've stopped doing short form videos. As we've gone into streaming, I've done longer form videos, and those longer form videos have gone into, completing more game at one time, which to me is great. I actually really like doing what I'm doing right now with this format. However, as of late, especially this year, I've really started taking this whole long form stream to a new high, because I've been really pushing myself to finish longer and longer games in a single stream. To me, finishing a full game in a stream is super satisfying, and it scratches that OCD perfectionist itch. One video, one game, separated by chapter. Mwah, beautiful. One-stop shop to find the game you're looking for, and you can use the chapters that I chuck in, the feature that I use now, to find where you left off. There's one video to remember. It's just, to me, it's mentally satisfying. And obviously, having this need for perfection, and this pushing to do things, I'm fine. Here's the funny thing about this. I'm fine with splitting a video in half or into thirds if I know all those streams are going to be roughly the same. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, one 6 hours, one 7 hours, kill me. But if I can kind of split by a nice amount, half the levels here, half the missions here, it's a little bit easier if I can just separate it, and I'm getting a little better at doing that, but sometimes I can't, and I just need it to be perfectly even and perfectly balanced. Because to be honest, I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist. I could say all these sorts of things like, oh, it leads to the childhood trauma and the need to fix everything that happened there with what I do in my regular life. I'm sure that is a big part of it. But the need for perfection and the need for having everything just super nice and super clean and this, that's where the sparkleophobia comes from. Now, I don't know if any of you have experience with glitter, but you even have a whisper of it next to you. It sticks to everything. It's all over there, everything. You can't get it out, even if you're vacuuming. I've literally picked glitter up with my thumb individually, boom, wipe it. I don't care about touching it. It's getting it off of things. It's getting it out of the way. When honestly, Christmas time, I love Christmas time just for the atmosphere, the being with family, all that. I hate that it comes with glitter on fucking everything. Cards, gift wrapping, decorations, man. It's out of control. And the thing is, if it's well made, it's adhered to the whatever it is well. But if you get it from a dollar store or just whatever, they're just chucking glue and then they're chucking this on top of it, and then it's an absolute anarchy. And I can't tell you the feeling I get. It's insane. And this kind of feeling is very similar to things with my YouTube channel. And this kind of stuff actually pushes me over the line. And I'm not trying to make this stream about, or sorry, this video about my glitter phobia. That has nothing to do with it. That's just an example. And I'm just trying to show you guys that this need for perfection is running my life to the point where I can't detach from what I'm actually there to do in the first place. With the whole thing with The Godfather, I was so obsessed with making sure this game was done in one day, in one stream, that I was willing to throw the whole point of it, having fun, engaging with the audience, interacting with the audience, making, having the experience together, playing a game. That whole point of streaming went out the window, and it became an obsession of mine to make sure this game was finished. And honestly, in that case, my frustration with not being able to do something the way I planned it makes me act ways that might not even be fair. Like, for example, I could all of a sudden have a bad taste of that game just because it reminds me of the fact that it droned on. Now, I'm not going to lie, The Godfather 2 wasn't an amazing game by any means. And it sure as hell wasn't like, it didn't age well. Let's just say it that way. It hasn't aged well in this modern, modern gaming. But at the time, that game would have been deemed pretty damn fun. You know what I mean? I probably, if I had played this, even in the in the 2010s for my channel, like when a lot of my series were getting quite popular, I guaranteed it would have popped off. It would have been a great series. I would have had a lot of fun with it. But because I was so obsessed with rushing through and trying to fix all these things from my past in the form of perfect, everything works out the way I plan it, it completely changed and derailed everything that I sought out for on the channel and the whole point of it. And I take my frustrations out on everything. It's not even just like me shouting. It's like I get irritated at what, a lot more things. So if someone asks a question, it might not even be a bad question or a mean question or anything like that. It's just a question. I will find annoyance in it. Not that I don't like answering questions, but like to me at the time, it's like I'm thinking of like, I'm trying to do this. Why are you asking me that question right now? Like, what's the point of that? That has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm taking my frustrations, my obsession, and I'm using that, and it's like a reason to actually, yell at a question that I at the time think doesn't make sense. And that's not what we're there for. I've always discussed this, and I've already said that this channel has always been a safe place and a safe space for people who, want to get away from these kinds of things already. If they have stuff in their own life and they don't, why would you want to come from one toxic environment or one toxic situation or whatever you're having issue with into your escape, which is now turning into another toxic area? It doesn't feel very good. And I'm basically pushing away my viewers with this attitude. And I understand that, and I could see that. That's why I knew in that moment, when I was at The Godfather 2, I threw everything out, my normal mentality of finishing it, the need for perfection, and the need to actually get rid of that. I had to wipe it clean, and I said, I am standing up for this. I can't let this go any further. I am stopping the game here. I'm not having fun right now. It's not what the channel's for. It's not what this has been about. And here we are. So I'm leaving this unfinished. And believe me, at the time, it did kill me inside. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's being dramatic, but that's the problem. It shouldn't kill me inside. If it's becoming it's having a negative impact on me and obviously you guys because of that, that is reason enough to be like, this isn't for you, let's move on. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a quitter. I don't like quitting things, but I also have to understand where the line is and when it needs to, once it's crossed, what you need to do to change that. That's basically what that moment was. And I'm letting this kind of stuff control me. You know what I mean? This perfectionist OCD, like I can't even really touch like public handles, man. Like I will always use a paper towel, and if I have to touch it, I'll touch a spot that I think is the least convenient. You know what I mean? Like you go into a restaurant or something, you have like a different type of handle. You know like those posh restaurants, they have like 2-meter long handles. I will grab it. I'll be like, not many people are gonna grab from the very top. And if there's a tall guy, he might grab from the top. But maybe if it's slightly a couple inches down, I'll grab it with a couple fingers. I doubt many people have touched there, so I'll open it from there. Or like, those handles that are like this, like their door handles are kind of like that, I will grab from here, the inside, because that's awkward. Most people just grab the handle. I'll grab from there and pull that way. And then I'll feel like I can't touch anything. I can't touch my phone. I can't touch my clothes. I can't touch anything until I've sanitized or washed my hands. It is insane, guys. And this is basically my life. You know what I mean? So I don't, again, I can't really tell you the exact source of where all these issues came from, but I can tell you that that's not your guys' problem, and it shouldn't be your problem to deal with. I will tell you about it. Does this mean this clarity? Is it gonna make me go ahead and just raw dog, an escalator and just lick it and stuff? No, I probably will never be able to do that ever in my life. I'm sorry to say, but what I can do is work on things to adjust my mental well-being. And obviously, in doing so, we can have a better time on the channel for everybody. Because I don't know about you guys, but whenever we do end of year videos, it is always about, have you noticed how almost every single year, the top moments that we have are laughs? It's funny things, it's fun. There's some anger on there, but not as much. You know how it's almost always laughter. That's what I want in this channel to be, as much as possible, laughter. So, one other thing I need to discuss, again, it's throwing me out there, I'm quite vulnerable with this, but I want to let you guys know everything possible. So the final thing I really need to discuss with you is in regards to my actual YouTube channel as a whole. I've been doing YouTube as my full-time employment for nearly 10 years. 2014, I believe November of 2014, was when I left my full-time job at the time, and I focused all my time and effort onto my YouTube channel. And we are approaching, well, it's been over 9 years now, 10 years next year, for doing this full-time. And it's been amazing. I've been super privileged to be able to do this for you guys and actually be able to make content as much as I can. And unfortunately, as things go on and you get more and more, running a YouTube channel and earning revenue from it was so easy when you're in your 20s. What do you have? What do you have to worry about? Not much. You have very little expenses, at least I did. I wasn't stupid with money. I've always been really good with money, smart with it. I'd always save it. I would spend on what I need to spend on, but most of it would be saved away and tucked for whenever I need it, or if I need to purchase something in the future. Like down payment for my apartment, I had saved up when I was making next to nothing back in the day, then eventually saved up when I bought my house today. I've always been very careful and very frugal with it. So that mentality of being frugal and careful, because I never want to be in a situation where I can't afford to pay bills. That's been kind of a mindset with me, with my channel as well. And the whole need, being OCD and completing a game in one stream, yes, that is a very valid thing, and it's very real, and that is something that is a major role, that plays a major role. However, there's that other side of things where I also know part 2s, not as many people care. The part 1s, that's where people care, and they make most of their decisions based on that part 1, and they might not ever come back. So that's just the way it's been. That's been literally the entire dawn of time. So if I know a game has been going on for 5 hours and there's still another 7 hours left, it's like, do I grind out another 7 hours so I can have one stream and everyone just come here? Or do you split it in half and take an L on the next stream? I know it's not something you guys really want to hear. I absolutely hate discussing finances, money on the channel. I know it's a major part of it. Obviously, when people send super chats, join the membership program, all that kind of stuff, it's super helpful, and we know what it is. We're not stupid. We all know it supports the creator financially when you do those things. But I also try to make it known that it's super appreciated. And I've also been thinking, because of my my concern for these kind of things, I also am like, oh God, I better get that at the same time. I want to be like, oh, I really hope someone gifts memberships. And then when I see it, it's almost like a relief. Instead of looking at it like, thank you so much for taking your hard-earned money and giving it to someone like me to help me do what I do. That's amazing. I have that mentality, but I also feel like I wear it like, oh my God, thank you so much, because now I know I'll have that membership and I'll get, that you know, I'll have the amount of money that I feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want anybody to think that. But my mentality is always like, you have to have a minimum amount of this in case this happens. You know what I mean? I'm always like, you can support yourself enough on this, but I pretend that I need to make this to support myself on this, because that's always been my mentality. That's how I've always been able to save up. So I always pretend that I need to earn way, way more in order to afford what I'm at now, because you never know what's gonna happen in life. That's always my thought. It's like saving, because I wanna be able to do this as long as possible. That's why I actually got well, it's one of the reasons. I got another job as well on the side. Obviously, I was in the industry already. I wanted to, you know, use that reach, maybe earn a bit of extra coin, and it's been awesome, you know, in that regard. But like, I don't want people to feel like it's their responsibility to pay my bills either. I know that's what you guys are essentially doing by just watching, but I also don't want it to be the forefront of my thought, because that's when my content suffers too. And if you just focus so much on that, and you let your content be about you complaining or, you know, worrying about these things, you guys aren't stupid. People aren't stupid. And they will know that. They can tell. And that vibe is going to actually make that happen. It's going to push people away. Honestly, it's just got to be about as much positivity as possible. I know I'm going to slip up, and I know I'm going to get frustrated, and I know I might snap at some of my viewers. I know it's going to happen. It's human nature. We do it with everyone. But like all your loved ones, you say you're sorry, you admit your mistakes, you share what's going on, and you try and get better from it. That's literally all we can do as human beings. But I feel like the first step here is to be able to admit this and be able to like share with it and realize I see it too. It's not just you guys. Even though you guys have been way nicer to me than I think I deserve in some of those moments, you guys have been there and you backed me up and you've been like, Dan, don't worry about it. Take some time off, breathe, we'll be here. And those words mean so much to me, believe me, because there's been so many times in my life where I've mentioned, you know, I felt by myself, and I was by myself. You don't understand. Even when I've had people saying I'm here, I felt like they weren't there. I've always felt like I've had to do everything myself, because no one thinks, I've always been the runt of the family. You know, I've always been like, even though I've needed no help, people think I need help with absolutely everything. I've confronted people about this, and it's just like, you know what, fuck everybody. I'm doing my own thing, and I don't need anybody's fucking help. You know, that's always been my mentality. But it's okay to be able to get help, and I realize that, and I can accept help from people when I need it, you know, emotionally or whatever. And I'm okay to let some people in. I feel like if I don't give you guys this information and kind of share with you some of my issues and why you're like, why did Dan snap at me? I asked the question. It's like, well, I can at least give you some insight as to why that might be. It's never the person's fault. I don't feel like anybody who asks me a question who watches my stream, you know, even if some questions might get a bit annoying after time, I will tell you if your question is annoying, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will be as honest as I can with people. Like, it's just like, that question doesn't make sense. I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't know why I'm gonna answer that. It doesn't make sense to answer. But that's not why we're here. Obviously, I just want you guys to understand my mentality going into these things and where I need to work on it. So I took today to not stream, make this video, gather my thoughts, and prep, because we're going into the holiday season. We are in the holiday season. Year-end videos are coming up. And that's one of the most fun times. It lets me look back on the year and realize we actually had a ton of fun. You know, we had some great games, we had some crappy games, but we had some really great games and great moments, and we all shared it together. And that is truly the best thing. So I feel like these things were very, very important to share. I'm not saying this is an apology video or anything. This isn't about me being like, oh, please don't be mad at me. No, this is about Dan Q8000 has some work to do, under a lot of stress. There's a lot of things to worry about. I have all these other issues that run my life, and I'm just trying to not push that on other people, and I'm trying to do what's best for my well-being mentally, and as well as your guys' well-being as well, because I don't want to make you all feel, you know, like you can't be comfortable in my streams. That's what we're here for. We're all just a big family, and you should be comfortable. This is the safe space that I promised. I want to make sure I keep that promise, and I will not continue to let myself do this to myself and you guys, if that makes sense. So anyway, wanted to let you guys know what's going on. Yes, I will be taking some days off this month, but again, I can't. That's the other thing. People are like, take weeks off. It's like, I still am on the clock technically, and I am getting married next year, and I really, really want to give my fiance the wedding she deserves. So obviously we're not idiots and we're not spending like crazy, but weddings are expensive even if you go cheap, you know what I mean? This stuff's so expensive, it's crazy. So I'm not going to be able to go away from streaming because it is the main source of revenue here. So I've really got to try, like we're being so frugal over the next year just so we can actually get married next year. This is pretty crazy. So like I said, I will take some Christmas time off, you know, 3, 4, maybe even a week, I don't know, across New Year's and Christmas time. But I will be still making content, but just understand, I know what's going on, and I want you guys to know what's going on as well. So hopefully that clears some stuff up. So thank you guys very much for watching. I probably talked way longer than I planned. That's how I always plan for this to be like a 10-15 minute video, and it ends up being like 30 to 40 minutes. So hopefully it's not that long. I'll know in a second. But yeah, thanks guys for being supportive. Thank you for understanding. Hopefully we can move forward from this, and I can just use this as a development for myself, and my content will get better. That's the best thing I want, and that's the most important thing I want, obviously. And well, obviously, no, the most important thing I want is for everyone to feel comfortable and happy in my streaming space. That's the most important thing. Obviously, those other things, we gotta work on those too. That's something I gotta work on. So hopefully, with these changes, things will improve in those other areas as well. I'm pretty sure they were. That's usually how these things work. So thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all being, you know, supporting my channel, you know, just watching, so, you know, being subscribers, liking the streams, sending super chats, becoming members, gifting members. All that stuff does help the channel so much, and I don't think I've forgotten that I wouldn't be here without you all. So thank you very much. Appreciate you. I love you all very much. So thank you very much. We'll get back to streams right away here. Thanks for taking the time to listen. We'll catch you guys in the next stream, okay? Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Who's the man with the plan? If you feel trouble wildin' wild on these violent and hit you 8,000. Wait a minute, hold that style is dialed in. Goddamn Billy Jack, we still riding tires flat. I hear them sirens, see shots flying, so we driving fire back. If they ain't vibing, lie with that. Got me dressed up in all black. What up? Hood up, and I see them haters try to run with us. They gon' need inhalers. Gotta breathe them hard just like Darth Vader. Players, grab your respirators. Night invaders get lightsabered. Mask on for the shooters, move like trash to bed intruder. Got that Glock and got them woofers. Just press play, I'll keep it moving. Who is not still, you damn fools? Keep it fresh like canned food. There ain't nothing we can't do, so tune into that damn cue. Yeah. It was never, ever a game.